I'm really excited to be here today to celebrate the second annual College of Science and Engineering Employee Recognition Program. And I say second annual, it's really cool when you can start to build traditions. I think it worked so well last year, the overwhelming response. Let's keep doing it. And I am a firm believer in traditions that celebrate excellence. And that is what we are doing here. And so I appreciate you all being here to continue to build that tradition of excellence here at the University of Minnesota. So, I feel really lucky to work with all of you. I appreciate the opportunities I've had over the last year to get to know many of you more. The breadth of activity that keeps CSE running is truly tremendous. I really appreciate it. So for these outstanding service awards, we had a total of 18 nominations this year, which goes to show that we really have an extraordinary group of staff at CSE that help make the college run smoothly and, again, excellence. Okay. So for the details, for those of you who don't know, I'm figuring most do know, but for those of you who don't, this is not just an award in name. Right? The Outstanding Service Award consists of one-time $1,000 award presented to the winners, as well as a commemorative plaque. And since these awards are meant to celebrate the innovation and talent in the college, actually, it's really cool is the CSE Machine Shop helped in developing and creating the plaques for the recipients. Right? These are actually pretty cool because they're multi-layered. It's not just one thing. There's got different levels of substrates. That's kind of cool. Now I want to thank all of the members of the committee that helped review the submissions and provide feedback on the nomination applications. And just as a show of appreciation, if the search committee members are here, could they please raise their hand and we give them a quick round of applause? Two of them are here. Yes. He doesn't have hands, so you can't clap. That's their way of clapping. In addition, Eric and Joanne are here somewhere. There's Eric in the front. I know Joanne, maybe she's out. Oh, there she is. There she is. Did a great job stewarding this whole process, and it's getting better and better and better. If you have additional feedback, to make it even better as we continue to build this culture of excellence, please feel to go ahead and provide that as well too. Really appreciate all the time and effort with this important initiative. So this is what you call building up the suspense. So before I announce the recipient of this year's Outstanding Service Award for the P&A category, and we're going to do this, there are different categories that we had. There are 4 different ones. For P&A, and it was competitive. There were very, very good applications. Just want to share a couple of things though that popped out about this individual that helped lead to the decision. So this recipient is the education and outreach director of one of our CSE centers. In this role, he's been responsible for overseeing a set of programs aimed at increasing the overall STEM workforce. These include research experience for undergraduate programs and research experience for teacher programs. This really builds our STEM pipeline. The candidate was key in acquiring resources to aid in running these programs, including a $500,000 NSF grant. And many of these programs led to applications of students to the University of Minnesota undergraduate and graduate programs. He's also participated in many other activities that amplify the impact of that center on educational activities in the K-16 space across the U.S. And he's done all of this with an exceptional level of professionalism. And so the 2023 P&A Outstanding Service Award goes to Phil Engen from the Materials Research Science and Engineering Center, the MERSEC. Phil. So congratulations, Phil. I'd ask you to come up and get one of these cool plaques. And for those of you in the audience that haven't seen these when we're setting them out, I'd encourage you to actually ask the recipients to let you see them because it's pretty clever. So in addition to like the state map, like the underlying substrate, you see it's done like a circuit board. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Okay. For engineer, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Um, Congratulations again, Phil. And the next category for the Outstanding Service Award is for individuals in the civil service category. And before, like before, I think it's important to let you know, like some of the things that the individual accomplished, or the way they operate, that sort of really led to the final recognition. And in this case, this individual manages their department's undergraduate programs, student services, and provides student support and advising, provides outreach and recruitment, and provides academic process development and support. She was largely responsible for ensuring a really impactful and worthwhile graduation effort last year when the university made the pivot to a one campus event with smaller departmental events, and was largely responsible for that department having a lot of very positives from the perspective of the students. That was probably the department I received the fewest parent complaints from. So, now, a lot of people had to go ahead and do that pivot. That was just one of the things. Other things too. One of the things that sort of really stood out, in addition to the programs, the proactiveness of support that she was able to provide to some of the students under her care. And these are students with additional needs, including sort of mental health or disability related accommodations, which is we're paying more and more attention to here at the university. She actually does weekly check-ins with the students that need support. Think about all the students in the department and checking in on them weekly. She's also worked with the departmental faculty to gain a better holistic sense of the student needs, and really just a thoroughly impressive level and approach to individualized student support. And so I'm super happy to say that the 2023 Civil Service Outstanding Service Award goes to Katie Sharp from Industrial and Systems Engineering. Congratulations again, Katie. The next category for the Outstanding Service Award is for individuals in the labor represented category. And some of the things that really stood out for this individual are the following. So the individual's department does a lot of lab instruction. It's one of the heavy lab instruction departments in the college. And as a member of the teaching lab staff, they are working sort of what I would consider to be the most public facing customer service part of the lab courses in the department. They're in the labs working with the students. And it's really important to see the value in consistency and thoughtfulness when it comes to providing a positive learning experience for literally the thousands of students that pass through each semester. Their positive attitude and problem-solving skills are on display every day because the labs don't always go. The equipment doesn't always work exactly the way you'd want. Sometimes you've got to be there very, very quickly to solve those. And it's clear that her self-motivated engagement in the department goes well beyond just the standard job duties. Every one of these recipients do their job very, very well, and then some. So I'm super happy to give the 2023 Labor Represented Outstanding Service Award to Chelina Angok from chemistry. That is not Chelina. Probably in lab. You may very well be in lab working with a student.
We'll get Davey another photo.
Yes, yes, yes. And you can let her know how much that we do appreciate the effort that she puts in. And when the new, currently termed Fraser Hall, we'll see if we can get the name changed. That would be if a donor comes through. Our fingers crossed. That's going to be a whole nother level of her job set. And so thanks very much for what she's done and also what she's going to do over the next 3 years. That's going to be a huge task. And finally, we have a category for Outstanding Service Award, which is, I don't know if we had this one last year. I don't think so. And so for those of you who know us, we're always about, again, improvement. Can we do things better? Beat yesterday. And one of the things that came up, it'd be really great to recognize groups, in addition to individuals, groups that provide a key service as a group. And this last category is a work group award, which honors the contributions of 3 to 6 staff members that work together to perform a key function for the college. It's the first year, like I said, that we've given the award. And curious to know feedback if folks think that this is of value and something we should continue going forward. The awarded team exemplifies the types of qualities we seek to recognize across CSE in teams. And some of those qualities really showed up with this group, right? These 3 employees, so it was submitted as 3 of them. They were instrumental in establishing a centralized peak-aligned purchasing model where the unit's PO, U-Market, and P-card requests were processed by these employees in a new purchasing team within the dean's office. An online ordering platform, ePurch, where the ticketing functionality was expanded and streamlined to facilitate the purchasing processes for the units. The employees were successful in meeting all the purchasing expectations of the mentioned units, resulting in reduced administrative overhead in the unit. Additionally, they've provided purchasing best practices training for new students, faculty, and staff in coordination with the units. Now, the ability to go ahead and make some of these, processes that maybe aren't at the fore and more customer facing in terms of interacting with the students, the ability to make those more efficient has tremendous impacts and multiplier effects across the college because it frees up time and effort for people to do other things and improves the overall flow of our processes. And so the 2023 Work Group Outstanding Service Award goes to, and wait for it, Andrina Seawood, Mackenzie Bren, and Megan Jensen from the CSE purchasing team. Congratulations. Come on up. So I would like to thank all of the recipients, obviously, for the hard work that helped make our college excellent. I would also like to thank the nominators because it takes some time and effort to put these together, as well as the evaluators. Overall, I'm super excited to see how this has turned out in our second year. And I look forward to doing this again in the future. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Eric for some logistical details.
Thank you. All right. So while pictures are being taken care of the Outstanding Service Award recipients with Dean Aline, we're going to invite guests and colleagues to join us in the lobby directly outside the room here for some refreshments.